What up, y'all? It's your girl, UC Kayla. Happy Thursday. Y'all, we just came off a wonderful Sistas Wednesday, and I cannot wait to get into it with y'all. But before we do, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we just started season 5. You do not want to miss this content. Thank you to everybody that subscribed, and don't forget to like, comment, and share if you like the content, guys, because I only want to do it if you want it. Now, y'all, Wednesday night's episode 2 of season 5, to me was good, and we're finna get into it. And y'all know how I stopped doing the scene-by-scene breakdown, and I give you my top 5 moments. However, I'm letting y'all know right now, we only got 4 moments this week, but I promise you I'm going to get all the way into them. And we might actually have more than 4 moments, but I just like combine them into topics, okay? So let's do it. We're going to start out with number 1. Number 1 is Miss Daniella, Danny King, baby. She brought it this episode, because first of all, let's get the obvious out the way. Nobody was looking for Sabrina but Danny. So shout out to Danny, because I've gotten into this on my older videos, so I'm not going to sit on my soapbox again. But obviously, Danny is the only real friend that Sabrina has. Andi and Karen wouldn't know if Sabrina was missing because they don't even talk to her like that. So shout out to Danny for trying to get to the bottom of the Sabrina situation, which obviously we're not going to get into until next week. Now, Danny part 2. We're still on topic 1. Preston, y'all. I'm sorry, I didn't even give the synopsis because I didn't see it. I forgot to mention that. I didn't give the synopsis of the episode like I normally do because it's not up yet on IMDb or whatever, or maybe it's just my phone, and I was too lazy to get on my on my TV and scroll through. I'm sorry, y'all. That is horrible, but I'm just keeping it real because I'm filming this video in a rush. I gotta go to work. But anyway, the episode was entitled My Boyfriend's Back. But anyway, I don't know if that was referring to Preston and Danny, if that was referring to Karen and Aaron, but let's get into Danny and Preston, get back into that. Preston lost his doggone mind. First of all, I told y'all last week how I felt about that. It was a backhanded ultimatum / proposal that I was not feeling. And as we saw this weekend, I predicted Danny wasn't going to be feeling it either. Like, Danny's not even that type of chick. I was going to be very surprised if Tyler Perry had her get all mushy over that, because it was just like, what are we saying? Like, I knew that what Danny was going to hear is basically, I'm going to go marry somebody else if you don't tell me what I want to hear. Where they do that at? So, and I know people have their feelings about Danny, and y'all know me, I love Danny, but I have not always been just so team Danny to where I can't give an unbiased opinion. But in my opinion, and UC Kayla's opinion, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, Danny was not wrong. She absolutely was not wrong, because Preston, that's not the way you bring something to somebody. If you're trying to pull emotions out of a person who is guarded, you can't come to them talking about, I'm going to do this if you don't do this. It's not going to work out because they already have an issue with letting their guard down. Now, does that negate the fact that in the past, Danny has been difficult and things like that? No, that doesn't negate that, y'all. But we're talking about right now, we're talking about what happened in this episode. In Kayla's opinion, Danny was not wrong. Kayla would have had the same reaction. So that's why, in my opinion, she wasn't wrong. That wasn't cool. You don't do that. And it's not a way to get somebody to trust you by abusing their affections and their emotions. It wasn't cool. And that's how I feel about it. All right. Topic number 2. Sorry, y'all. I done dropped my... Sorry. I dropped my notes. All right. Topic number 2. Lord have mercy. I have Lisa and her daughter. I'm just going to refer to her as Lisa's daughter today. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So, I felt like Lisa did too much in this episode when it came to Zach. Now, not coming to protecting her daughter. And she kind of got a little slick out the mouth with Aaron. But at that time, you know, Karen's in the hospital. She's bleeding out. She's stressed out. If she don't want you here, baby, you got to go. I understood that. But I didn't like how Lisa handled Zach when he came to the door. Now, in the same sentiment, obviously, because I like Zach, I will say this. She wasn't going to let Zach talk to Karen at that time because, again, Karen had just got done bleeding out and being stressed out. She needs to get her blood pressure down. The doctor got her on bed rest. I understand that. Mama, handle your business. But her being a little tit for tat with Zach, asking Zach if Fatima is the B word and all this kind of stuff like that, like, okay, you stepping into some business trying to defend your daughter and trying to kind of question him about the whole paternity issue, like, or being basically sarcastic about the paternity issue. You wasn't there when your daughter laid down, so you kind of overstepping your bounds. Again, I said this before, it's like them people on Maury who come in with their brother or sister and be all in the other person's face. This is your baby, this is your baby, da 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 da. And then it's not. You wasn't there when they laid down. Don't get so wrapped up in somebody's business. I don't care how close y'all are. If you're not the other party that's involved, you don't know. So yeah, I wasn't feeling how Lisa was talking to Zach as far as about Fatima, about the whole, oh, you're on this baby train too. It's not a baby train. It's a real life situation of your daughter has two possible fathers, excuse me, to your grandchild. This is your life. This is real life, and it's her life too. And I need her to understand it and stop coming at my woman crazy. I'm not mad at Lisa about her saying, no, we're not going to do this right now. I get that. But I didn't like the way she was talking to Zach. And then Karen have lost her marbles. Now, that's not new because Karen been showing her behind since season 3. But the fact that, Karen, did it ever occur to you that if Pam told you she was going to call, that if Pam called Zach, that Zach contacted Aaron? They played basketball together. Like, you know that Zach knows Aaron from around the way. It's not impossible. Even if Zach never had Aaron's number for him to get it from Gary, it's not impossible for Zach to get Aaron's contact information. Why would you automatically assume that it's Fatima? Because you wanted a reason to cuss Fatima out, to go out on Fatima, to continue to lash out at Fatima. And now you're lashing out at Zach because you're mad because Zach didn't come up there, because that's what you really wanted, was for Zach to come to the hospital. But you got yourself in this situation of, who my baby daddy? So you can't expect this man to be all in if he don't even know if that's his child. And especially seeing how, if we track it all the way back, y'all was still kind of together or working on being together or whatever when Aaron came into the picture. Aaron is not Zach's favorite person for them to be all together in a situation. He don't know if Aaron's going to be there or not. Zach don't know how you treating Aaron and how you egging him and being mean to Aaron. For all Zach know, y'all together, because that's what you was pushing for when you was leaving him. So anyway, that's a whole mess, and Karen is being real unreasonable about how Zach should be to her in his pregnancy until he finds out if that's his baby or not. And obviously, she was being unreasonable with Aaron to an extent because Aaron shouldn't have been there. I'll give her that. If she didn't answer your call, she didn't want to talk to you, if she told you to give her some space, you cannot, Aaron, keep pressing the issue until you get the answer you want. It's called stalking, my guy. That's called stalking. All right. Moving on. My point number 3. Hold on, y'all. I got to take a sip because I'm going to need my mouth lubricated for this point. Gary and Andrea Barnes. What's Gary's last name? Those two got on my nerves so bad this episode. How do we go from season 4 finale screaming at Gary, get out the apartment, I'm going back to the place I bought, I can't stand you. The last couple episodes of season 4, whether she be with Robin or not, she done with Gary, crying at Karen, you was right, I'm stupid. How do we go from all of that to last week's episode, the first episode of season 5, he's suing you, you crying, giving him that monologue, just because people love each other don't mean they're gonna be together, da 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 da. How do we get from that to this? Now y'all bumping and grinding on the couch, the same couch that she was on with Robin, and this is the same man who couldn't sleep with Andi because of him imagining her with Paris and all this kind of stuff. You straight up saw her with Robin, but you ain't had no mental block. Come on, Tyler Perry, stop playing in my face. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this, y'all? When I tell y'all I was so mad, I was hot. And not hot and bothered because that scene didn't do nothing for me because I was pissed. I'm like, what are we doing? It's not that deep that a grown woman, an attorney who's supposed to be all kinds of smart, is this dumb of a man. I'm not going for it. Now, could I believe Gary was doing that? Absolutely, because that's what Gary does. But Andi, baby, I never believe. Andi wouldn't be able to tell me the sky is blue if I was one of her sisters. Because I wouldn't believe nothing else you say from this point on after that. And I'm off of it because I could go on about this to the break of dawn. All right. My last point or moment or topic is Zatima. And I'm not rolling my eyes because I don't love Zatima, because y'all know I love Zatima. I'm rolling my eyes because of what I'm about to get into about Zatima. Fatima. Why is Tyler Perry doing this to Fatima? Fatima was on a roll. Fatima was Miss Inspiration. Fatima was Miss I'm Every Woman. Fatima was Miss Morning Affirmations. And I understand nobody's perfect and characters have to grow and develop. But why does Tyler Perry have Fatima tripping over stuff she shouldn't be tripping on, and stuff she shouldn't be tripping on she ain't worried about? Just like, okay, perfect example. In one breath, in this episode, she on Zach about, oh, you need to check on Karen. You know, she's in the hospital. It could be something wrong with the baby. The next breath, you're mad at Zach because Karen cussed you out. Even though Zach said he was not going to answer the phone, I'm not going to answer the phone. He didn't want to engage. You answered his phone, which gave Karen the ability to cuss you out. Now you mad at Zach. What are we... What? Like, I understand what Fatima's position is. Trust me, I understand. But you cannot expect Zach to do the impossible. What Fatima actually expects from Zach at this point, which she don't even really know what she wants, but I'm telling y'all what she's expecting. She's expecting Zach to be the perfect stand-up father and know the perfect balance of being in this situation with Karen and still being her man. Fatima having him as her man, and him defending Fatima, and him not going too far with Karen because she's pregnant, and him not expecting her not to say anything to Karen, but him, it's impossible. She wants Zach to toe a line that's impossible. Zach had the right idea, which we have to establish boundaries. Zach was 100% correct. And it's not many times that I have said that Zach is 100% correct. But he was trying to establish the boundary. She don't need to be calling him all kinds. It's super late. You calling me all times of night. If he didn't have no intention on going to the hospital, whether people feel like that's messed up or not, and of course, I want y'all to tell me in the comments what you think. But I'm not necessarily mad at him for not wanting to go because, again, paternity is in question. And she's not over him. So Zach has to do a little bit extra to keep his distance from the situation until they get things sorted out. And he's trying to nurse a new relationship and move on from the past. You know, Zach has a lot going on. So the best thing he can do right now is not go off of emotion, which is run up and go to the hospital, when he can just wait and see what happens and then go address the situation. So, yeah. All that to say, I enjoyed the Zatima scene when they was having a good time and enjoying their day. Obviously, DeVal and Crystal did a wonderful job. DeVal was hilarious, even when they were having their little conflict or whatever. It's not that. What's frustrating to me is, but it's actually realistic, is the tightrope that Fatima wants Zach to walk. He's trying to navigate this situation just as well as you are. He's not going to be perfect every time, and neither are you, but you can't tell this man to get into it with Karen. Don't get into it with Karen. Be there for Karen. Be here for me. Fatima. And you know I love you, girl. I'm 10 toes down for Fatima. But, baby, it don't work like that. So, anyway, y'all, I'm so sorry to be so long this time, but those are my topics of Season 5, Episode 2, My Boyfriend's Back. I don't have the synopsis, but I enjoyed myself. Follow me on Twitter at @ThatGirlKaylaD, and you will see all my tweets from last night's show, as well as you will see all my live tweets and updates and banter about the shows that I watch. Thank you guys so much. Join us on Sistas Talk tonight. Instagram at UCKayla. No TV, just UCKayla. We're on Instagram tonight at 7 p.m. Meet me there. I am the new co-host along with my girl Jazz and our sis Elisa Nichelle. She's kicking it off, and we are going to have a wonderful time. I hope to see you there, guys. Bye, y'all. Have a great day.